Saints Raiders recap and review, ladies and gentlemen. It's almost over. The penultimate game in the New Orleans Saints season. Let me just say this. As bad as the Saints have been this season, as bad as the performance and the injuries and the record and all of that, it is still sad. It was sad today, leaving the Superdome. It is still an NFL season, and I don't care how bad the team is. I don't care how bad the results are, or the games, or whatever. I would much rather the NFL than not the NFL. So it was sad today, leaving the Dome for the last time this season, and we'll have to wait until September to go back in there. So bittersweet today. You know, as we sat there as the triple zeros hit the scoreboard, we took a look as we left. We turned to look at the Superdome as the sun was setting behind it. So sad day. But inside of the dome, we had this performance right here. Raiders 25, Saints 10. Ugly. What can you really say? Two bad teams. I guess if I had to come up with a story, or if I had to come up with the one note from this game, was how bad the Saints defense was. Ameer Abdullah, 20 carries, 115 yards, 5.8 yards per carry. Mercy. Yet again, Spencer Rattler was the leading rusher for the Saints. Clyde Edwards-Helaire, honestly, pretty good. He was all right. I think he was better than Jamal Williams. I think he was better than Kendra Miller. He was decent in the run game and decent in the passing game. So I think CEH has a place on this team, which is really kind of an indictment on just how bad this team is. If you keep going down the Raiders box score, Aidan O'Connell, 20 for 35, 242 and 2 touchdowns. He was all right. He made some really good throws. He's Aidan O'Connell. He is who he is, but a couple throws he made were really nice, right in the basket. Good stuff. He had a couple plays where it was yep, that definitely is Aidan O'Connell over there. But for the most part, I thought he was decent. Receiving, Brock Bowers, he could have had, this was another situation where if he wanted to, he could have had 15 for 150. But instead, they decided, let's just do 7 for 7. Let's do 7 for 77. So he had 7 for 77, but he was unstoppable. Thank God they did not go to him that much. The Saints, as far as running the football, again, like I said, it was Rattler or nothing. Miller goes down with an injury early. Jamal Williams is doing Jamal Williams things. So, it wasn't too much there. Passing-wise, Rattler was okay at times. It's very similar. Here's the Rattler. Here's the whole thing with Rattler is that he's going to show flashes of, damn, that was pretty good. Or, damn, that was a hell of a throw. Or, wow, he escaped the pocket. Or that was, this or that was that. And then he has moments where he's a rookie, and he has moments where he's a gunslinger, and he has moments where he's going to throw a bad interception or take a bad sack or whatever, and he did that this game. There's also moments where it's all right, well, we're down 9. It's a 2-possession game. Spencer Rattler has to get us back into the game, and he has to get us back into the game with the likes of Juwan Johnson, Foster Moreau, Dante Pettis, Kevin Austin Jr., Cedric Wilson Jr., Kendra Miller, Jamal Williams, Clyde Edwards-Helaire, Marquez Valdez-Scanling, and Adam Prentice. And when that is who he has to work with, it is what it is. It's going to be what it's going to be. So these reps are good for Rattler. Getting some experience and seeing this, I think is good for him. And I think he shows at times, there's a few plays where he'll make a throw, and I'll look over and I'll say, Jake Hander's not making that throw. Or the 4th down, when it was 4th and 2 and he scrambled for the first down. Okay, that's nice. That's nicey. His 25-yard run to start the game, nicey. The trick play to Foster for the touchdown, nicey. All right. So the interceptions, not nicey. The sacks, not nicey. But it is what it is. I do think it says a lot about the Saints. It says a lot about this offense. And it says a lot about who we are as a team, where trick plays are a pretty consistent part of our offense. We had the trick play to Foster to score the touchdown, and then we attempted a trick, the Cedric Wilson, the throwback pass that Cedric Wilson had. So that's kind of all our offense is. And in the preview, we kind of joked about it. We joked about where it's like, how can you even envision the Saints? Because in the preview, the guy we were reacting to, he kept saying, you got to finish drives with touchdowns and not field goals. And we said, brother, we're not even going on drives, much less worrying about field goals or touchdowns. And when you think about the Saints scoring, and you think about the Saints matriculating down the field, and like how do you see them doing it? Because it's not them running the football. They obviously cannot do that. And it's not them really throwing the football because of the likes of Kevin Austin, Dante Pettis, Adam Prentice, whoever else. So the only way the Saints really do score is kind of these like broken plays or trick plays or misdirection plays, but it's never just like true football. And that is a bit of a disservice to Kubiak and to the fans, where we can't even line up and do that because of what the roster has become because of injuries. And I saw this immediately after on Twitter. I was at the game. I was live tweeting the game. I was eating Dome Dogs, all that stuff. And I had people who kept replying to my tweets, and they kept saying, fire Loomis. Fire Loomis because of this roster. And I hate having to keep beating this drum, but if you go look at, like, let's just pick a team. Who do you think is the best roster in the NFL? Let's say the Eagles, all right? Let's say the Eagles are the best roster. So let's say Hurts is hurt. So let's say it's Kenny Pickett, all right? But really, Kenny Pickett's not, let's say he's hurt too. So let's say it's Tanner McKee. All right, now let's say Saquon's hurt. And now let's say Kenneth Gainwell's hurt. All right, so now you have Tanner McKee and Tyrion Davis-Price. Okay, let's say A.J. Brown and Devontae Smith are hurt. All right, so now it's Tanner McKee, Tyrion Davis-Price, Johnny Wilson, Jahan Dotson, and Anaya Smith. That's horrible, okay? That team ain't winning nothing. Oh, and let's say that your best offensive lineman, in this case, let's say Lane Johnson, let's say he's hurt. Oh, and let's say another offensive lineman is hurt as well. So now you're down. You have Tanner McKee, Tyrion Davis-Price, Johnny Wilson, Anaya Smith, Jahan Dotson, Grant Calcaterra, Jordan Mailata, Jack Driscoll, Tyler Steen. Like, even the Eagles, who you would argue is the best roster in the NFL, they're not built. No one is built for what the Saints have had to go through. The Saints lost starting quarterback, arguably their backup quarterback. They're down to a fifth-string rookie. They lost their starting running back, backup running back. They lost their top two wide receivers. At times, MVS has been hurt. Their third wide receiver, Taysom Hill, got hurt. You could argue as their second or third running back. You could argue as their starting tight end. Oh, and also at times they haven't had their starting center, their starting left guard, and their starting right guard. So it's just a lot. So I still don't understand when you can watch all this play out and you can watch who we have on the field and you can say, this is a front office issue. Ladies and gentlemen, it's just a confluence of bad events, and it's a perfect storm of injuries and mediocre roster to begin with and whatnot. And I'm not saying Loomis is perfect, but sometimes it doesn't take a thesis. It doesn't take a 200-page doctoral thesis to sit back and say, we just got the shit into the stick. And sucks, it sucks. Yes, it sucks that Derek Carr didn't play this season. Yes, it sucks that Alvin Kamara couldn't play the entire season. Yes, it sucks that Chris Olave and Rashid Shaheed were hurt. Yes, it sucks that Taysom Hill got hurt. Yes, it sucks that Eric McCoy got hurt and Lucas Patrick got hurt and Cesar Ruiz got hurt. Yes, all of that sucks. It sucks we had to trade Marshawn Lattimore. Yes, all of that. Not awesome. Not awesome. But that's kind of where it ends, I think. You can't really look at this team and deduce much that, our third string, fourth string, fifth string players aren't very good. Now let's go to the box score. Let's see. 22 first downs for the Raiders, 13 first down for the Saints. Total play 74 to 53. Yards 388 to 269. Yards per play 5.2 to 5.1. Again, remember, YPP is important, but in a blowout, you do have to kind of weight it because the team with the lead is running the ball. They are trying to kill the clock, so their yards per play does drastically go down, whereas the team trailing, their yards per play goes up dramatically because they are trying to get chunk plays, and the defense is allowing them chunk plays. So you got to be careful with YPP and blowouts. I know we talk stats all the time, so just giving you all a little bit of, just helping you out a little bit there. Rushing, Saints had 6.2 yards rush, but again, for all the stat heads in the back, is this a true 6.2 yards per rush? No. Why? Because Spencer Rattler had 3 carries for 46 yards. So in reality, we had 5, 7, 10, 32, 35. So this is easy. So we had 10 carries for 35 yards for in the back, Girthquake, 3.5 yards per carry from our running backs, which is not very good. So we had 3.5 yards per carry for the running backs. They had 156 yards on the ground for a 4.1 yards per rush. Time of possession was drastic. 37 minutes, 22 minutes for us. Where was the game lost? Right here. I think the game was lost pretty much right. It's funny because the game was lost, yet we were winning after this happened. But this right here was absolutely brutal. We go first down, second down, third and 2. O'Connell is sacked, but there's a penalty on Granderson. How do you jump off sides there? You're staring at the football. That allows them to keep the ball and keep the possession. Should have been a 3 and out. Instead, it turns into a 17-play, 9-minute drive to open the game. Now, yes, they only got a field goal. Yes, we ended up stopping them. They stopped us. We scored. It was 7-3. I get all that. But when you are opening the game with your defense having to be on the field for 9 minutes and 17 plays, that is backbreaking. It's just something the Saints have done all year long, and they continue to do it where they cannot get the opposition off the field. They cannot stop the other team on third down. If you want to know where the game was won and lost, look right here, ladies and gentlemen. The Saints were 1 for 10 on third downs. The Raiders were 10 for 18 on third down. My, oh my, oh my, oh my. If I had to guess, the Raiders are one of the worst teams in the NFL on third down. 10 for 18 on third down. Saints 1 for 10. You don't win when that is the situation. If you showed me this box score without the score, and you showed me 1 for 10 versus 10 for 10 for 18, 2 interceptions or 2 turnovers to none, and 37-minute time of possession to 22 minutes, I would go ahead and tell you exactly who won this game. That is enough. That's enough for me to know that this was a dominant performance. I don't know if I said 10 for 8 or 10 for 18, but it's 10 for 18, 1 for 10. Yeah, ugly. So if we look at Tankathon, this is obviously what people care about now. So certainly what I care about now. But the Saints are kind of in no man land because the Giants win today. Controversial yet brave. The Raiders continue to win. So the Raiders have won 2 in a row. All right, the Giants win. Tennessee and New England lose. So New England is now your first overall pick. New England is not going to take a quarterback. So if New England sits at 1, you would think Travis Hunter will be your first overall pick unless New England trades out, which was what I would do. I would trade out, and Tennessee potentially could be number 1. But Tennessee, Will Levis sucks. But is Tennessee in the market for a quarterback? You don't know. So kind of a weird situation at the top here. Jacksonville, they're not taking a quarterback. Carolina, they're not taking a quarterback. Chicago's not taking a quarterback. So the problem is, though, that New Orleans really can't move very much. They can't move very much, even if they keep losing, which, spoiler, they will. Even if they keep losing and they end up 5-12, they need a lot of help up here to really move up. Now, like I said, the good news is New England, Jacksonville, Carolina, Chicago. So 4 of the top 9 don't want quarterbacks. So if you look at a quarterback, the Saints are kind of pseudo 6. But I'm not sure if the Saints are in the market for a quarterback either, TBH. Quarterback, like I said, quarterback prospects are kind of top heavy. Is Shador and Cam Ward, and then that's it. I don't think any other quarterbacks go in the top 10. So, and arguably, I guess Sanders and Ward, are they top 5? They will be taken top 5, but are they should they be taken top 5? I don't know about that. But so the Saints are sitting at 10. More than likely they'll pick 10, maybe 8, somewhere in there. But so we're 1 week away. We're 1 week away from the hypotheticals. We're 1 week away from who will be the head coach, who will be the DC, who will be the OC, who will our draft picks be, who will be the quarterback. So I can go ahead and tell you who won't be the head coach: Joe Woods. This was a terrible defensive performance. We could not get the Raiders off of the field. We could not get them off the field on third down. 17 plays, 8 plays, 9 plays, 10 plays, 12 plays. It's very difficult to win a game when you're giving that up. If you look at the Saints, 4, 3, 7, 7, 5, 3, 3, 6, 3, 3, 10. I mean, and then the 10 ends up in an interception. So if you look at the Saints, their longest drive, how crazy is this? Their longest drive of the game was 5 minutes and 58 seconds, which was a 7-play drive that ended in a punt. 5 minutes and 58 seconds, 7 plays. The Raiders go 17 plays for 9, 8 for 4, 9 for 3, 10 for 5, 12 for 5, 6 for 3. I mean, it's just crazy how little the Saints had the football. But it is what it is. Ladies and gentlemen, tough stuff, but we're almost there. We have 1 game left, and then it is officially mock draft, head coach interviews. Who's it going to be? And then the offseason. So the penultimate game. It's still the NFL. It's still Saints. It's still football. It's still Sundays. And I'd rather that than not. I'd much rather watch this than a couple episodes of The Walking Dead or whatever else people are doing on their Sunday. So thank you, God, for the NFL. Thank you, God, for the New Orleans Saints. And thank you for each and every one of you who have stuck with me this season and continue to stick with me. I hope you enjoy the rest of your Sunday. We'll be covering, per usual, the NFL and the Saints and everything else this week. Multiple videos every single day. I don't miss. We had videos on Christmas. We had videos on Christmas Eve. We had videos on the day before Christmas Eve, the day after Christmas. We're not missing, and I don't plan on stopping anytime soon. We have a lot of exciting stuff going on in the channels. In 2025, I will update very, very soon. I will give you all some updates on what we have going on here. But 2025 is going to be the biggest year for me as far as content, as far as what we're doing. We're going to really go for it in 2025, and we're going to burn it up. So I'm excited for it. Stay tuned. Thank you for watching, and I will see you in the next video.